You are listening to Theoretical Insights of D&D.
Lord, give me a fireball!
Screw how hot your skin is, my bars are hotter. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you, you listeners, if you don't know what the zombie has packing in his decaying flesh, you shut up, Cancer Bones. You gonna be a zombie if that cancer doesn't get cured.
Hey guys, I'm Rob.
And I'm Eric.
Welcome back to another episode of Theoretical Insights of D&D. Today we're going to be covering our top, how many monsters is it again?
10, I believe.
10, okay. Our top 10 monsters for CR3. And we're back with a new and improved celebrity list.
I wouldn't call it improved.
Well, I mean, hey, you got a point. Number 1, now remember this list goes 1 to 10, 1 being the uncoolest, 10 being the coolest. So number 1, Perez Hilton. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. 3, Jesse Ventura. 4, Big Ed. 5, Chum Lee. 6, Steve-O. 7, Selena Gomez. Rick Astley at number 8. Number 9, Jackie Chan. And 10, as we just got the news today, as we're recording it on the 26th of August, the late and great host of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
That man was most of my childhood.
Dude, that guy had the charisma of 5 bards wrapped into one person.
Dude, you don't understand how many times I faked being sick as a child and watched Price is Right at my grandma's.
Man, you need to get a life.
I do, but still.
I mean, I can't say anything. I used to love watching The Price is Right with him, and then going over to specifically before Drew Carey took it over, because Bob Barker was doing The Price is Right about the time that Wayne Brady started up Let's Make a Deal.
Oh yeah.
That was really good. And then I'm not knocking Drew Carey in any way. He's going to make our list at some point, and he's going to be higher ranked because of the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, Drew Carey is great. But he was no Bob Barker.
Yeah, he's no Bob Barker, and there will never be another Bob Barker. So, Bob Barker, thank you for the years that you gave us and the entertainment that you gave us. Rest in peace. Moving on to our list, however, we want to kick things off with the Assassin Vine. It's a large plant. It's unaligned, because I guess plants don't really care.
Would it be sentient to have an alignment?
I mean, it kind of is sentient, though, because it's got an intelligence. Well, I mean, it's got an intelligence of 1, so.
Exactly. What do all plants do? They feed and grow.
Photosynthesize?
It's just this one is more violent than others.
Yeah. It's the trees in Lord of the Rings, not the Ents. Like, the trees were ready to eat everything around them.
Yeah.
So it's an armor class of 13, 85 hit points. So we're starting off strong at the start of this list.
Yeah, this
is a massive increase from CR2 to CR3 in health pools.
But look at that, the 10 D10 plus 30.
Here's the problem. 5 foot of movement.
Well, yeah.
5 feet of movement. Now, it is resistant to both cold and fire damage. That's actually interesting to see, because most of the plants that you see in Dungeons and Dragons are susceptible to fire damage. Like, it usually deals double damage.
And it doesn't make sense for a plant to be resistant to cold and fire.
Maybe it's one of those ice and fire types, man. You know, the kind that Pokemon needs to hurry up and put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've had...
No, they didn't.
No. Yeah, it was Sword and Shield. It was I think it was Ice and Fire.
Oh, that dang dragon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is immune to being blinded, deafened, exhausted, or prone. Has blind sight of 30 feet and a passive perception of 10, so you can probably sneak by this guy pretty easily. Now, it also has false appearance. While the Assassin Vine remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from a normal plant. Here's where it gets a little spooky. It does not have to move very far. Constrict, melee weapon attack. It's got a +6 to hit, and that's thanks to its 18 strength score.
But it's got a speed of 5, right?
Yeah, it's a speed of 5.
But it's got a reach of 20.
Yeah, a reach of 20 feet on this attack, okay? Takes 2d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage and is grappled. The escape DC is 14. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained and takes 6d6 poison damage at the start of each of its turns.
That's just...
Now, it can only constrict one target at a time. But if it hits...
It's going to hurt.
At the start of its turn, because you have to make the save at the end of your turn, or use your action, that's 6d6 poison damage coming at you.
Plus the bludgeoning damage from its hit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So within one round, this thing is doing
Average
a
of
fireball
30?
No, Eric, look at me for just a second.
Uh-huh.
It's doing a fireball +4
Has poison damage.
as poison damage. It also has entangling vines, so the assassin vine can animate normal vines and roots on the ground in a 15-foot square within 30 feet of it. These plants
That's
turn,
scary.
Yeah. This is why it doesn't have any more than 5 feet of movement.
Yeah.
These plants turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain, and a creature in that area with the effect must succeed a DC 13 strength saving throw or be restrained by entangling vines and roots. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a 13 strength DC or athletics check, freeing itself on a successful check. The effect ends after 1 minute or when the assassin vine dies or uses entangling vines again. This is not a recharge. This is not a once per day or 3 times per day. This is every round until it works.
It's a plant with animate plants.
I mean, yeah, technically.
What?
This creature, okay, has such tremendous setup to be an absolute monster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But
Especially if you run into more than one.
it's listing here the info. An assassin vine is a ambulatory plant that collects its fertilizer. You are known as fertilizer to this plant.
Yeah, you pieces of doo-doo. This thing is interesting more than it is cool.
Yeah, and as interesting, and I mean, it's a plant.
Yeah.
As interesting as this is, I still have to give it a 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
it's a
Steve-O. It's Steve-O.
Yes, it's
Steve-O would be the guy to walk up to this thing and be like, "Wrap me. Let me know what you do with your poison damage."
I could see the next jackass with Steve-O in this thing.
Yeah. I really could.
He would probably be naked.
He probably would be. Him and Chris Pontius both. Next up, we have the Basilisk. The Basilisk, I don't care who you are or what you have to say. This Basilisk is cool. I know it's not the Harry Potter version of the Basilisk. I will admit that version is cooler.
Kinda.
The what? 50-foot long snake?
Yeah, but I'm a
kinda
fan
like that
of
one more.
like European fantasy games, so I like this kind of basilisk.
Yeah, well, I would say that if we were gonna like do a CR comparison, the Harry Potter Basilisk, which Harry should not have been able to kill that thing, but
Yeah.
you know it is what it is. I think that would be considered like a CR 7 or 8.
At least, because it's like more of a dragon than it is in scale and power.
Oh yeah. Now, would you like to cover a little bit of it, sir?
Well, it's 15 armor class, which is pretty good. Kind of low
It'll
on the
probably
health
be
points.
on the same level as yours, like warlocks, your
By this level,
rogues, stuff like
yeah.
that.
Well, no, the rogue would probably be
Well, if it's
at least a 17.
well, not if it's only because you got to think you're probably going to run into one of these by the time you're 4th level or so.
Yeah, that is true.
So you might still have your maybe hide armor plus 4. It'll only be a 16, so it's going to be right in there with it.
Its health points is kind of low. 52 health points. Hit points.
Well, you can always do the 8d8 plus 16, which would be 90.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 80.
But this is average hit points.
Yeah.
Speed of 20. It's kind of fat, kind of slow. Strength of 16. It's not the greatest, but it'll do what it needs to. Dex is 8, which is understandable. Con 15, understandable. Intellect a 2. It's a moron.
I mean, it's a little smarter than that assassin vine.
That is true, but the assassin vine is a plant.
Yeah, well,
this is a sentient animal.
This is an actual like monstrosity.
Wisdom of 8, charisma of 7. But
it's not getting the ladies.
But it's got a dark vision of 60 feet.
That's nice.
Passive perception of 9 though. So as long as you ain't got a paladin in plate armor, you're probably gonna be able to get by this thing.
Oh, easily. Unless you like nat 1 the thing and don't have enough to get above 9.
Yeah. Of course, it's got its petrifying gaze.
That's a lot of words, Eric.
It is a lot of words. Listen, it is late at night, and I had to get up early this morning, so.
Pretty much. If a creature starts its turn within 30 feet of the basilisk and the two of them can see each other, the basilisk can force the creature to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw if the basilisk is not incapacitated. On a failed save, the creature turns to stone, and it's got to repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn. On a success, it ends. On a failure, the creature is petrified until freed by the Greater Restoration spell or other magic. You don't get to repeat it more than once, buddy. You get one shot. Now, a creature that isn't surprised, like with the hag from the last episode, when she says, "Look over here, Sonny." Blah, 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 blah. I completely forgot it. I forgot that I did that and was listening back while I was editing, and oh my god, it was funny. Oh, I found the stupidest things funny.
It's okay.
The if it's not surprised, they can avert their eyes to try and avoid the saving throw. If it does so and it can't see the basilisk until the start of its next turn, when it can avert its eyes again. If it looks at the basilisk in the meantime, it must immediately make the save. If the basilisk sees its reflection within 30 feet of it in bright light, it mistakes itself for a rival and targets itself with its gaze.
Yeah,
there's that intellect of 2.
This is your Medusa fight, basically.
We should swap the intellect of this and the assassin vine, because the assassin vine wasn't even this dumb.
Well, the assassin vine was going off natural tendencies.
Yeah, this guy's territorial. He's like that dog that walks by the mirror and he's like, "Oh, who are you?"
He's the dog that's been hit by a car once, so he's kind of not all there.
He just looks at us, "Right, we're doing that then." And realistically, that's the best thing he's got going for him, because his bite, he's only got 1 attack per action, and it's doing 2d6 plus 3 piercing damage and 2d6 poison damage.
It's not a lot of damage for this thing.
No, and you can easily outrun it.
Yeah.
As far as a cool factor goes, I have used this in my campaign.
Yes, you have.
And I think you fought a total of 2.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
I want to say it was 6th level, because y'all knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
I think it's like a middle of the road, just a good old Chum Lee.
I'm gonna have to go with 7. Miss Selena Gomez.
7. I mean, really? I mean, it's a whole lot prettier than. I mean, Selena Gomez is a whole lot prettier than this thing.
Yes, but unlike Selena, this is a classic.
I mean, Selena's kind of a classic too, dude. I mean, Wizards of Waverly Place and all that.
You're right. I'm old. She is a classic by now. God.
Yeah, we're in 2023, bro. She's been around for like.
See, I'm still in the mindset
years.
of 20 years ago being
Bernie.
1980.
Don't forget she was on Barney.
I hated Barney.
I love you. We'll get copyright strike
I'm
if I
gonna
sing anymore.
stab you with a basilisk.
Moving on. We've got the Bearded Devil. Now, the Bearded Devil overall is just awesome.
This is one I haven't really heard of until now.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Well, let me do the break it down. I don't know why I did that. Let me do the breakdown for you. Armor class of 13, natural armor, 52 hit points, same hit dice as the Basilisk, speed of 30 feet. Now, it's got a strength of 16, 15 dex and con, a 9 intelligence, an 11 wisdom, and an 11 charisma. Here's the cool thing. It's resistant to cold, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered.
Well, it's a devil.
Immune to fire and poison. Immune to being poisoned. Dark vision of 120 feet with a passive perception of 10. And knows infernal and has telepathy of 120 feet. It also has devil's sight, so magical darkness doesn't impede the devil's dark vision. So good luck. Magic resistance. The devil has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, and it has steadfast to where it can't be frightened while it can see an allied creature within 30 feet of it. This dude by himself is not a problem. You throw a couple at a group of people, it might become one.
Yeah. I could see this being a multi-engagement.
Oh, and good news, it has multi-attack.
Okay.
And it has a glaive. Okay, so it's a +5 to hit, 5-foot reach, which is kind of weird.
No, that's his beard with a 5-foot reach.
Oh, yeah!
Man's got a dwarf beard.
This is the beard. 1d8 piercing damage, and the target must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution save or be poisoned for 1 minute. This man has Chuck Norris's beard.
I don't think Chuck Norris's beard will poison you, though.
No,
It'll
Chuck
just
Norris's beard
one-shot
would
you.
just, yeah. You know all those UFC fights that people get knocked out in?
That was his beard?
Yeah, it was Chuck Norris's beard.
Oh, okay.
He's crashed it at the wrong time. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turn, ending it on an effect. Ending the effect on itself with a success. Now the glaive, 10-foot reach, 1d10 plus 3. And if the target is a creature other than an undead or construct, it must succeed a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or lose 1d10 hit points at the start of each of its turns due to an infernal wound.
So he poisons you and then infernal wounds you.
Yes. Each time the devil hits the wounded target with this attack, the damage dealt by the wound increases by 1d10.
Oh.
Any creature can take an action to stanch the wound with a successful DC 12 medicine check. The wound also closes if the target receives magical healing. So a first level healing word will solve this problem.
Yeah, but still.
If you are
And-
unfortunate enough
And
to run into these guys before a long rest.
Ooh. Oh.
And he gets off 2 rounds of combat, misses with his beard entirely. Let's just leave that out of the conversation. Hits twice with the glaive.
You're taking 10 at the start.
You're taking 2d8 plus 6. This is around over the 2 rounds. 2d8 plus 6. And then at the start of your 3rd round turn, at the start of your turn, you take 2d10 damage.
Jeez. That hurts.
Have you seen the picture?
Yes. Yes, the picture.
The beard is glorious and would nearly put a dwarf to shame.
Well, dwarf beards are hair. This is more like diabolical tentacles.
Stingers,
with poison
really.
barbs on it.
Well, look, they actually kind of look like scorpion's tails.
Yeah, they kind of do.
This dude's cool as can possibly be.
It
This
is cool.
This is the Jackie Chan. It's not a Bob Barker, but it is definitely a Jackie Chan.
I would have to say I'm rickrolled on this. It sounds really cool, like it could be a Bob Barker, but since I've never had the experience of it, I'm going to have to give it a rickroll at a 7.
I'll give you an experience
Right.
soon. I'll give you the experience of a bearded devil in a 5e fight soon,
Okay.
and it'll be fun.
Then it can be a Jackie Chan.
Yep. Now, I'll be honest. We're about to cover what's possibly the coolest on this list. I'll just throw it out there.
Not the coolest, but second best. Second place for sure.
Okay, what in the world? Okay, I know what you would come to second place in your mind because you're.
Well, it's not just because I play a druid. I've loved this creature for many years.
Well, it's not even got anything to do with being a druid. You're basing it off of Baldur's Gate 3 and the D&D movie.
No. This is. I'll explain it when we get to it.
All right. The Displacer Beast.
Oh, it is.
I forgot that this is a CR3. I thought it was a CR4.
It looks and sounds like it should be a CR4.
Oh, yeah. Because it does all kinds of stuff. 13 armor class, 85 hit points, so it's right there with the Assassin Vine at 10d10 plus 30. So you could always give it 130 if you really want to like amp it up.
Yeah.
And a 40-foot movement speed. Has dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 11, so you can still sneak by this thing, but it's not going to be quite as easy as the other stuff we've covered so far. Avoidance. If the Displacer Beast is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a saving throw or take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half if it fails. So
Yeah,
you know that Displacer Beast we ran into in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Why it kept taking so little damage from all the spells?
Because of
This is why.
Yeah.
In Displacement, the Displacer Beast projects a magical illusion that makes it appear to be standing near its actual location, causing attack rolls against it to have disadvantage. If it's hit by an attack, this trait is disrupted until the end of its next turn. This trait is also disrupted when the Displacer Beast is incapacitated or has a speed of 0. So you can lock it down.
Yeah. But even if you lock it down, it's still got avoidance.
Yeah.
So either way, you're not doing much damage unless you're up close stabbing it.
And it also has multi-attack.
Yes.
With its tentacles, a reach of 10 feet, 1d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage plus 1d6 piercing damage.
I'm surprised this doesn't have a pounce.
Well, this...
In the bestiary, it could be added as a DM. Very
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, they added it in. We're basing a lot of the memories that we've got of this off of Baldur's Gate 3 because we're both in the middle of it right now on multiple different playthroughs.
Yeah, multiple.
The Baldur's Gate version of a Displacer Beast
It's scary.
absolutely terrifying. This sounds like a kitty cat compared to it.
Yeah.
Because this displacement in game works a whole lot different. They did it for visual effects, and I actually like that one more than this one.
Yeah.
But it's still absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah.
If it were not for that, if the CR3 Displacer Beast, in my mind, did 1d8 damage with its attacks instead of 1d6, it would be a Bob Barker.
Well, you got to think, that's basically a whip.
Oh, yeah, but this is coming from a Displacer Beast.
That is true.
If it did 1d8 damage, it would be a Bob Barker. But
Yeah.
because it is not, it is a high-ranked, like, who am I, mid to late 90s Jackie Chan.
Oh, this is definitely Drunken Master Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah.
Peak.
Absolute peak. The Green Hag. Now, you...
Don't get me started on these.
Yeah. We went over the Sea Hag in the last episode, and there's going to be a lot of similarities in between the two. It's a 17 natural armor class. 17 armor class, and that's natural armor.
Natural.
With an 82 hit point average, you could do the 11d8 plus 33 with a speed of 30 feet. Now, it's got a dark vision of 60 feet, passive perception of 14, understands and speaks Common, Draconic, and Sylvan. And it can breathe air and water. Has mimicry. We covered the hag Coven, and I think the Hag Eye a little bit in the last episode.
Yeah, I think so.
But here's where it gets innate spellcasting. It has Dancing Lights, Minor Illusion, and Vicious Mockery, all on a spell save DC of 12. Now its attacks. It's got a +6 to hit with a 5-foot reach on its claws, and it deals 2d8 slashing damage +4.
That's crazy for some claws.
2d8 +4 for claws. Now you see why I said the Displacer Beast should be a d8.
Yeah. Comparatively,
It should be a d8. It also has illusory appearance to where once the hag covers herself in anything the hag covers herself in anything she's wearing or carrying, and with a magical illusion to make her look like another creature of her general size and humanoid shape. It's pretty much, you're not going to be able to pick her out, just like Auntie Ethel.
It's your classic witch. She can look like a beautiful woman, walk around town, and steal your children.
And she can also turn invisible.
Yeah, that too.
And it's not a once per day thing.
Yeah, it's
whenever she wants. And the picture that is depicted here on the bestiary that I have reminds me so much of the witch from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original.
Oh yeah.
Because she's technically holding a heart in her hand here, but
a heart in a bowl with skulls and guts, I guess.
Yeah, this is.
You've got the same picture I've got.
Yeah, this is the spooky version of the evil witch.
Imagine a heart or a poisoned apple instead of a heart.
That's crazy. Hags are just innately cool.
Yes, but I hate them.
Oh, I mean, I do too. I do not want to fight hags. I like to run hags, but I do not like to fight them.
Wait a minute. In a certain podcast we was doing recently, wasn't a green hag killed by bee sting?
No, it was not a green hag. It was the necromancer.
Oh, yeah, that is right. It was the necromancer.
Yeah, it was the necromancer because I couldn't remember how the fight went, so I just made some stuff up.
That's always going to be hilarious. Killed by a bee sting.
I mean, it's a hag, dude. This is not going to be any lower than Selena Gomez. It's either a 7 to a 10. There's no way it can go lower.
Based on my personal feelings, I got to give it a 6 because I hate fighting them.
I got to go with an 8.
But
on up there to where they will rickroll you.
I mean, looking at its stats,
they will literally rickroll you. Hold up. The hag has the ability to literally rickroll you in game. It is a 8 Rick Astley.
I could, even though I hate them, and it should be a 6, I'll give it a rickroll.
You're just hateful.
I know. It'll be alright.
The Hellhound. Overall,
it's a classic.
Yeah, it's throughout mythology, both European, Orthodox Christian.
Several mythologies, yeah.
Yeah, it's all over the place. There are hounds of either hell or the underworld all over the world.
Throughout multiple gaming universes.
Yeah.
I
mean, even Cerberus is kind of considered to be a hellhound.
Well, it is a hellhound. It's just a special hellhound.
15 armor class, 45 health, 7d8 plus 14 if you'd rather take the max, because 45 is a little bit lacking.
But it's a dog.
Yeah. Oh, surprise, surprise. Would you like to take a wild guess as to what the immunity is for damage type?
I'm going to say water? No, fire.
I was about to be like, no. The Bugs Bunny meme? No. It is immune to fire damage, has a dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 15.
Yeah,
It is more perceptive than a green hag.
But I mean, again, it's a dog.
Well, what also helps that is its keen hearing and smell, to where it has advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or smelling.
Yeah, you're not going to...
So if you try to sneak by it, even if you're a rogue, because footsteps can technically still be heard, he can still try to hear you with advantage, especially if you only roll like a 15.
But this is just a guardian dog for hell, so it's going to be able to spot you no matter what.
Yeah, unless you want to run it like the supernatural hellhounds that hunt you down.
Yeah.
Those were
Those
scary.
are scary, yeah.
Well, the only thing I really hated about that is they never CGI'd one to where we got to see one.
Yeah.
I wish they would have. They also has pack tactics. Surprise, surprise! It is another form of a canine in D&D. So it has advantage on attack rolls against the creature if at least one of the hound's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated.
Oh, imagine fighting 3, maybe 4 of these with a hound master.
No. Forget the hound master. This is a pack tactic animal, dude.
Well, I know,
You
but
got 6 adventurers. Give them 2 each.
no, but like it would fit in the story really good to have like 3 or 4 of these
Oh, well, yeah.
and a hound master from hell.
Yeah.
That would be the ones chasing you down.
And their hound master would be the bearded devil.
Oh. Oh. Please.
It's bite plus 5 to hit, 5 foot reach, 1d8 plus 3 piercing plus 2d6 fire damage. And it also has a fire breath. Recharge on a 5 to 6, so it can do this more than once per, like encounter.
Yeah.
The hound exhales fire in a 15-foot cone. Everyone in the area must make a dexterity saving throw of 12 or take 6d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Its fire breath is 2 die short of a 3rd level spell called Fireball.
And it's more controlled than a fireball.
Much more controlled than a fireball. And this is one, you don't have to be an evocation wizard to be able to launch Fireball and not have to worry about hurting your buddies. You can put this guy on 2 opposite sides of the same enemy, both use fire breath, and they're going to be fine.
And you're going to have more than one hellhound.
And you will be taking 12d6, either full or halved.
Yeah. It's going to hurt.
This thing is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
The only hit that it takes is the 45 health, but it needs to be that low because it is a pack tactic animal.
Yeah,
It's already going to be
pack
giving itself advantage. It's got a 6d6 fire breath. Yes, it is a reroll, but you could always reroll that 5 or 6 at the beginning of your turn for that fire breath.
Yeah, it's alone. It's not as scary, but like you said, it's a pack animal.
You throw 8 to 10 at 6 people in a party, it becomes an issue.
Oh, it becomes
It
especially
becomes
with that fire breath.
Oh yeah. Now, if you're not a cruel DM, obviously you just 1 or 2 fire breaths per round, and then start rolling for recharges and stuff. But if you're one of those DMs that's like, I'm gonna break it off in their booty hole, every single one of them could use their fire breath at the start of the encounter. Every single one of them. The potential of rolling 60d6.
Don't hurt me.
This is another Jackie Chan.
Yeah, this is I wouldn't call it drunken master Jackie Chan.
No.
Uh,
I don't. You know what? Let's throw in a buddy of Jackie Chan. Not quite Rush Hour, but Shanghai Noon.
well, see, I was thinking like Temple
Because
of
this thing's kind of crazy. And what was Owen Wilson's line in that movie? I don't know karate, but I'm crazy.
See, I was thinking more Temple of the God, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Project A.
Yeah.
The Armor of God.
The Armor of the Gods or whatever it was. Good movie, but kind of
Yeah. Yeah. It's still highly ranked.
Oh yeah, it's
this
up there.
this thing is absolutely cool. Personally, I would probably redesign the way it looks for like my own personal aesthetic.
Yeah, the picture on here, it's. I would
It
picture
looks more
of
like a warg than a. It looks like just a hellish version of a warg.
Yeah, it's got that thick front and a skinny rear end.
Yeah, I'd probably thicken it up at the rear and thin it down at the front just a little bit to make it look more like a wolf.
Get its neck a little bit thinner. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just give it menacing fangs.
Oh God, yes,
It's such a cool creature, man.
it is, and it's a classic.
Speaking of classics,
Yeah.
this one dates back probably further than the Hellhound, the Manticore. And they finally put it in Smite. All those years of them playing around with the Manticore and all that stuff, and this fake release that they did, 6 years ago, for the fake Smite God reveal for the Manticore, they finally actually put the King of the Manticores in the game, and he's actually pretty good. A 14 armor class, considered a large monstrosity. 68 health with a movement speed of 30 feet and a flying speed of 50 feet. Dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 11, so he's nowhere near as perceptive as the Hellhound. However, he can fly.
Yeah.
Tail spike regrowth. The Manticore has 24 tail spikes. Use spikes regrow when the Manticore finishes a long rest. Now, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why, oh why, do you believe that they would put the words finishes a long rest on the end of that statement?
I want to say use it as a mount.
Exactly. Get your gnome wizard on the back of this Manticore.
Going straight for the memes.
Your gnome wizard or your halfling barbarian on the back of this Manticore and fly around launching tail spikes and returning pikes. Dude.
Not just a tail spike. With its multi-attack, it can do 3 tail spike attacks.
Oh, you don't even have to be anywhere near anything. Speaking of which, the bite attack plus 5 to hit. Oh, let's cover this real quick. Multi-attack, it makes 3 attacks. 1 with its bite, 2 with its claws, or 3 with its tail spikes. The bite plus 5 to hit, 5 foot reach, 1d8 plus 3. That's its first attack for that round. The other 2 attacks are 1d6 plus 3 slashing damage. That is 1d8 and 2d6 plus 6. No, sorry, 9.
Mm-hmm.
So if it hits, that's a guaranteed 9. Average of 1d8 is what, 5? And average of a d6 is 4. So that's going to be 13 and not 22 points of damage.
But, just a second. It's got 24 spikes.
Yeah, so that's 7 rounds.
8 rounds.
Oh, yeah. It's 11:30, dude. I can't. It's midnight. I can't math.
8 rounds of tail spikes.
Launching 3 at a time, in which do 1d8 plus 3 each.
Oof.
With a range of 100 feet, and it does not hit disadvantage until 200 feet.
So this is flying around, launching tail spikes every turn, while you've got a gnome wizard launching fireballs.
No, better yet, ice knives.
Oh,
Just because it's tail spike, ice knife. You know? Or Melf's acid arrow.
yeah, the Melf's acid arrow would be good too. Oh, that would hurt.
This thing's cool too. It's
It is
not.
cool.
It's not quite as cool as the Hellhound. I don't think.
No, I would stick us with a Steve-O just for the memes.
No, it's got to be a Rick Astley, dude. It's higher than.
It could be a Rickroll.
It's definitely higher than the Basilisk.
I'll cut you off in the middle with a Selena Gomez.
That'll work. Well, once again, my bestiary has decided to play me an ad for some kind of photo editing software. So if you could, Pinterest.
See,
I am getting ads for Pinterest.
that's why I'm looking at my laptop right now.
Yeah,
It
well,
don't play ads like that.
no.
They're all on the side. I can ignore this.
Well, sir, would you like to begin covering possibly my favorite on the list, the Nightmare?
This was probably tied with the Displacer Beast. It is the Nightmare, which is, as a lot of you know, it's a horse with fire. It's got natural AC of 13, which is, it's a horse. 68 health, though, which is not bad. Speed of 60, but, oh yes, a flying speed of 90.
Excuse me, sir. What did you say?
90 flying speed.
90 feet of flying speed.
You are on a horse. This is Rapidash that can fly.
Rapidash's evil twin.
Yeah. But it can fly at 90 feet a turn.
Dude, it's got bone teeth.
Yeah. It's a hill horse. Would you care to guess what immunities it has?
Thunder.
No.
Give me one more.
Better make it a good one.
Radiant.
No, not that one either.
Dadgummit.
It is immune to fire.
I never would have gotten that.
Well, if it wasn't immune to fire, then it would burn to death.
Fair. I mean, that's a fair and valid point.
Passive perception of 11. Languages it understands. Abyssal, Common, and Infernal. It can't speak, of course. It can... This one is good. Confer fire resistance. The Nightmare can grant resistance to fire to anyone riding it.
Huh.
Does resistance stack by any chance?
I mean, I guess technically, because you could go from taking half damage to quarter.
So if you're already resistant to fire,
if you have a ring of warmth and your resistance to fire, I would rule it that if you were riding this horse, instead
You
of
would
taking
take quarter.
you would take quarter damage.
So hear me out with the meme.
Oh boy.
Gnome Wizard riding this into battle and just lands right in the group middle of everybody and throws a fireball at his feet.
No, a gnome sorcerer, draconic bloodline,
Ooh.
red dragon.
Yeah.
With, hold up, I'm not done. With a ring of warmth, riding this thing, taking an 8th damage from every fire. I don't think it works like that, but you know what? Just for the meme, taking 1/8 damage instead of taking 8d6 worth, it's taking the equivalent of 1d6 damage from a fireball.
Jeez. Anyways, it has illumination. The Nightmare can shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet.
Well, at least you're not going to be stuck in the dark with this thing.
An Underdark raid would be fun with this thing.
Oh, yeah. Or like jumping over the castle wall on the back of this thing.
Yes.
And telling the king,
Well, I mean,
like,
it
hey, I'm
flies, so you
here.
wouldn't have to jump.
Well, I mean, you can kind of, you know.
Gallop down the gateway or the path to the castle and just take off flying over the
Speaking
castle
of
walls.
galloping, what's at the end of this? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if you were able to get your hands on 2 of these.
Oh. Yes. The hooves. Attack +6, reach of 5 feet, for 2d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage, and an extra 2d6 fire damage. From the hoofs of a horse.
This is the horse that Ghost Rider rides.
Yeah, it's Ghost Rider's horse.
Well, I mean, it's not a skeleton, but you know what I mean.
It's got
Eth-
ethereal stride.
Ethereal stride.
Same thing. The Nightmare and up to 3 willing creatures within 5 foot magically enter the ethereal plane from the material plane, or vice versa.
You can plane hop on the back of a well, I was going to say little bitty, but this ain't little bitty. You can plane hop on the back of a terrifying looking horse.
Imagine a chariot attached to this horse.
Imagine your Eldritch Knight fighter riding this nightmare, who is best buddies with a certain gnome wizard and his manticore mount.
Do you want to have a fair game?
No,
No.
that would not be a fair game at
Have
all.
a gnome wizard with a manticore and an eldritch knight with a nightmare.
Oh my gosh.
That would be...
Dude.
Listen, As a DM, you could throw
That would
anything.
be pure
at them.
chaos. That would be absolute chaos. Because here's the thing. If you take the feat of mounted combatant as the Eldritch Knight fighter, on the horse's turn, you move and attack, and then if you, for some reason, happen to match up initiative with the horse, or if you just take your turn with the horse or whatever, then you're immediately, depending on your level, 1 to 4 attacks for your action, or a big old fireball. Because the Eldritch Knight, if they get up to 20th level or around that time, they'll have access up to 5th level spells.
Yeah. A knight in armor running at you with a greatsword. Runs out of movement. Fireball.
A flaming knight on a flaming horse launching Sleet Storm.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
oh no. What if he had a scroll? Cone of Gold.
Jeez.
Just play the meme to its entirety.
Yeah, that would be. There's your fire and ice.
Wait, no, it gets better. So he's sitting back there on the back of his nightmare, and he's getting ready to launch the fireball, but he's waiting for the Manticore and the Gnome Wizard to fly over, while the Gnome Wizard launches Cloud Kill and crop dusts everybody below them. I can hear the fighter now.
Just get over there and give him a good old crop dusting real quick.
I need a crop dust.
Spread the pesticide.
Spread the pestilence. Do it.
Oh no, we should not have recorded at midnight.
It makes it better sometimes.
This is a Bob Barker.
This
Is a Bob Barker.
I would give this a late 1990s Bob Barker.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s.
This is an 11 out of 10.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is late 90s, Price is Right. What was it, 12 o'clock noon it came on? Or 11 o'clock.
This is possibly the coolest creature that we have talked about so far.
Yes. But I still have a favorite coming up.
Oh, well, yeah. And that would be the owlbear.
The owlbear. Now, let me tell you the reasoning why I've loved the owlbear for so many years. Several years ago, when I started playing D&D, I would look it up on YouTube, and I was captivated by a certain group called Penny Arcade, and it was Acquisitions Incorporated with I didn't forget all their names. But anyways,
Gee, what a fan you are.
I haven't watched them in a while because they stopped doing that campaign. But it's one of them had a little figure of an owlbear, and it was like a Pokemon ball. He threw it out, and poof comes an owlbear named Chippy. Yes, I remember the owlbear's name, but not anybody else's name. The owlbear's name was Chippy, and it was a total beast. And then that's why I like owlbears so much. And then when D&D movie came out, it reinforced that like for owlbears, and then Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, you can wild shape into an owlbear in the game.
Which is busted.
Yeah, it is an absolutely overpowered creature when you are wild shaped into it as a druid. But it's so much fun.
It is.
It's an armor class of 13 with 59 health, or 7d10 plus 21. So if you wanted to max it out for a tougher encounter, it's 91 health. Speed of 40 feet.
That's
Perception.
a fast bear.
Oh, it's got dark vision of 60 feet
Yeah.
because it's an owl bear. And a passive perception of 13. It's got keen sight and smell, so it's got advantage on perception checks that rely on sight or smell.
It's going to be hard to sneak past this thing.
It makes 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its claws. The beak is 1d10 plus 5 piercing damage with a plus 7 to hit. And the claws are plus 7 to hit, 2d8 plus 5 slashing damage. Now, if I were to put an owlbear in my game and have it fight my players, I would include the crushing flight ability from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
I don't think I would have it do any damage, but I would have them make a strength save from being knocked prone.
And it doesn't even need the Owlbear Rage from Baldur's Gate 3.
No,
it just needs the flight.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's not really flying. It's more falling with style, as Buzz Lightyear would say.
And they are absolutely fantastic creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Even the lore about them is interesting. How they pretty much escaped from their captivity and began reproducing into the wild.
Yeah, it's...
After being created in a lab by some kind of mad manticore riding gnome wizard.
As long as he was part of the Fae.
Yeah.
Because that's where they come from.
I mean, gnomes. You never know. They're
That's
sneaky
true.
little fellas.
They are.
That's why he's riding a manticore. It's an easy Rick Astley.
This is Bob Barker for me.
D&D 5e, Rick Astley. Baldur's Gate 3, Bob Barker.
I mean, this
Even
is...
D&D movie, Bob Barker. But for D&D 5e, Rick Astley.
This...
Because it does lack a few things.
Yeah, this one does
lack
lack a few
want
things.
more health on it.
Yeah, I would say the 5e would be at least the Jackie Chan. But
yeah, I could get behind that.
in my heart of hearts, it's the Bob Barker.
Last and possibly least on our list, because
Yeah,
let's be honest, we were just trying to get a number here.
I mean, it
is cool.
It's kind of cool, yeah, but it's meh.
The Water Weird. Armor class of 13 with 58 health, or you could do the 9d10 plus 9. 99. Not quite 100, but 99.
4 easy payments of $69.99. It could be yours.
But I don't want
Sham
this.
wow.
I don't want one of these. I wouldn't order it.
I might would if I had a moat.
Yeah,
Which with the way the world's going today, I might build a moat.
got some woods in the back, build a castle with a moat, get a water weird.
Yep.
At least 2.
Swim speed of 60 feet. So this is one thing that you're going to wind up facing in the water.
Yeah.
It is resistant to fire and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. It is immune to poison. It is immune to exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, poisoned, restrained, prone, and unconscious. It's hard to stop the thing.
Well, it's an elemental that is
Yeah,
water.
more specifically, it's a water elemental.
Yeah.
So it flows like
Now,
water.
you mentioned you would fight it in water, but it's a little information here. It's a it's an elemental guardian bound to a specific water field location, such as a pool or fountain.
Could you imagine just going to your local downtown fountain
This is a
and tossing
guardian.
in a coin, and this little thing pops up out of nowhere, just like.
Just toss a coin to your This is a guard dog, is all it is.
Yeah, it's a heck of a dang guard dog.
I mean, yes, it is, but it's just a high level wizards. It would probably be something for the big bad.
Blind side of 30 feet with a passive perception of 10, understands Aquan but doesn't speak. It is invisible in water. The water word is invisible while fully immersed by water.
But
That's terrifying.
it would be the big bad guard dog of his
Yeah.
tower. You got 2 fountains outside the gate.
Well, here's the thing. If it's an underwater location that you have to get to,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never see them unless
That
you
is
have
true.
true sight.
Yeah.
Waterbound, the water weird dies if it leaves the water to which it's bound or if that water is destroyed. So just get a cleric out there and start casting destroy water.
Destroy water.
Its actions, it's a +5 to hit with its constrict, and it's 3d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage. Reach of 10 feet. If the target is medium or smaller, it's grappled. Its escape DC is 13 and pulled 5 feet toward the water weird. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained and the water weird tries to drown it, and the water weird can't constrict another target.
So you would have to be making con saves to hold your breath.
You better hope you got potions of underwater breathing.
But hold on.
Or cast water walk.
Say you've got a very sneaky rogue with a bag of holding. It just dips the bag of holding in the fountain.
No, he just goes. No, it's not a fountain. It's a lake. Okay. It's
okay.
It's
like
Lake Michigan. I know Lake Michigan is gigantic, but let's say that this thing is massive. It's the BBEG.
there would probably be
There's a bunch of
several
them.
in Lake Michigan.
Yeah, there'd be a ton. Okay. He goes to the lowest point of the lake after taking a potion of water breathing, or having the ability to breathe underwater, and he straight up goes to the lowest point and sits the bag of holding down, open, and it just starts draining the lake. While the gnome wizard on the manticore
Cast fireball!
casts fireball and crop dusts the people on the shore.
Hold on a minute. So you've got Lake Michigan in a bag of holding. And you open it in the middle of a battle. Point it at somebody. Imagine
That's
the
bring a
PSI
whole-
on this thing.
That brings a whole new meaning to control water. Or tidal wave.
As he looks at the
The
cleric.
barbarian grabs the bag of holding in the middle of a tavern after getting pissed off after being cut off for drinking too much. He just yells, "I cast tidal wave!"
While,
and
look,
floods the whole town.
while looking at the cleric, saying, "You can't create this much water."
I figured the Eldritch Knight would be over there on his horse, just looking at him like the disappointed Sam Elliott.
Now I've got a picture of an Eldritch Knight with a fancy beard and mustache, speaking in a southern accent that doesn't age.
And then the guards come, and the gnome wizard has to crop dust them on the back of his manicore. Oh, this has devolved into absolute chaos.
But it is the end of the list, though.
Realistically, it's actually a really cool creature. It is a cool creature.
If you go into different ways you could defeat it and use it, yes. But as it sits with the info of like a pond or a fountain,
It's a big Ed. What if it was inhabiting
Yeah.
just a rain? Hold up. God. What? What if a rain?
what do you have for us?
What if a rainstorm came? Okay, really heavy rainfall, rained for like 4 days straight. Okay, and it flooded. It flooded the nearby pond,
With the water weird in it,
and there's just
and it escapes. Okay.
no, it doesn't escape. He gets trapped in the middle of town.
In a puddle.
It can't get home.
Okay, this would be fun to have in a
And
game.
the local Nazim steps in it. Oh my god. Oh, I'm crying. Ooh. It pops up. What are you doing here? I got lost. There's a big flood. I can't find my way home. We've got a bucket. We have a bucket.
Imagine having to carry this water weird around in a bucket.
You name him Waldo.
But wait,
Carry him on the back of your manticore.
if you could carry a water weird around in a bucket, you could just hold on. You could just walk up to somebody you really hated in the game, set the bucket down, and they'd just be demolished by a water weird.
What if you told him to drink out of the bucket? They just got bit on the face by a giant water weird.
Got punched in the face.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The memes you could do with this thing.
It's the last time we're recording at midnight.
It probably won't be the last time.
No. It'll dissolve into chaos like this one did.
But the memes you could do with this thing.
All because of the gnome wizard riding around on a manticore.
And the Eldritch
Plot
Knight
dusting
on the
people.
nightmare just
Yeah.
sitting in the corner shaking his head.
Highly disappointed in the rest of the group. While freaking Nazim is walking through the streets and steps into a water weird puddle because of the because of the flood that happened a couple days ago.
Well, hold on. You could have your big bad evil guy somehow seed the rain cloud with water weirds and have it rain on a town he's trying to destroy. You've got lots of puddles.
Oh, and you could rewrite that song.
It's raining weirds. Hallelujah.
You're the music man. Go for it.
No, thank you. Oh, let's end this before we devolve into another laughing fit.
Yeah, another 20 minutes of laughter.
Oh, gosh. Thank you for sticking it out through this episode, because I know it's going to get rough. I
Oh,
know
it-
it is.
It's been fun, though.
Oh, man. Next episode, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to record a CR4 next or if we're going to have some kind of off-the-wall conversation about something, but something coming in the future. Once we have finished our 2 respective playthroughs of Baldur's Gate 3, we're doing a kind of a goody two-shoes and a not so much evil, but willing to do evil acts when it comes to like progressing the story and stuff like that. Not so much turning on our own, but just doing, really bad things.
Being a-holes.
Yeah,
much.
pretty much. Once we get that done, we are going to be sitting down, going back through the entire game, just talking to each other pretty much. And we're going to bring you guys a full review, probably a 4 or 5-parter, honestly.
Yeah,
It's going to be a massive review to the best of our abilities because
'Cause
we are not game testers. or
even
anything like
Act
that.
1, that could be 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah. By itself, it could be 3 episodes. So you'll have that to look forward to for those of you that haven't played. If you're going to play it and want to avoid spoilers, obviously we will put in some kind of spoiler warning at the start of the episode. But it will contain spoilers.
Yeah.
So we'll be working on that, trying to get done with that. If Eric will ever get back on again. And
Listen, I've been busy with other projects.
yeah. In the meantime, I hope you'll forgive us for our forgive me for my laughing fit, because that water weird in the puddle really got me. Because he got lost.
Lost. That is a water weird get lost. Oh, it rains.
He got stuck in that little sunken place in the brick road.
Where the brick road's kind of sunk down from years of
I was
use.
following the cracks home and I just got stuck. I don't know what to do.
Imagine keeping it in a fish tank.
Oh no, what if it got really cold overnight and it froze? It'd be a icicle weird.
Then you could just break in. Would it die then?
Maybe. What if what if a dog came and peed in it?
Why is that water
I wonder if
weird
it'd be
yellow?
I wonder if it'd be a little agitated at that.
Why is that water weird got a yellow tint?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's poisoned.
It's been defamed. In the meantime, in between this episode and the next, whatever it may be, keep rolling high, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.